duplications within a showdown slate. Like I avoided the Super Bowl showdown because all of the slates were so just obnoxiously large. Um, this is the $5.5 million prize pool Super Bowl Millionaire Tournament. This was like a $10 entry, 150 entries, million up top, but duplicated 16 times. Um, I get into this debate with a lot of different people in regards to duplicating lineups and you should be go how you should go building lineups in regards to showdown mode because it is so easy to dupe each other in a showdown mode. So, if you don't know what I mean when I say duping, that just means having the same lineup as other people and getting into this scenario where you're splitting the jackpot. 653,000 different entries. Um, you're going to stumble across some duplications, um, but 16 is a ton. So this is the first place lineup. It got 16 people first place. Rob Gronkowski in the captain spot with Mahomes, Kelsey, Brady, Brown, Buckner. I like this lineup. Buckner with Mahomes is a great correlation with Kelsey. Um, had Gronkowski with Brady and Brown. Ultimately, a good lineup. Left some money on the table. 2,300 in a showdown is fine, but in a field size this large, to get sole possession of that $1 million prize, which I assume people playing this tournament wanted to, you needed to have a really low owned guy. Um, so let's see, because sure he had some pieces at 13% and some pieces at 17%, but when tournaments are a half a million people long, um, when tournaments are almost over a half a million people long, um, this 13% here on Harrison Buckner is not enough because 13% ownership on a 653,000 person field is still means you're going to be the same as 85,000 people. Um, Overall, a really good lineup, just not contrarian for the $1 million lineup. I am using RotoGrinders Results DB, by the way. Great tool if you want to see how people played specific slates, what you needed to do in specific slates to win, different builds. Results DB is here. They do NFL, MLB, NHL, golf. Unfortunately, they don't have this feature for FanDuel. So Pat Mahomes, Cap 72%, Kelsey 62%, Hill 59%, Brady 57%. How far down did we have to go to have first place equity without being duped? So, what do I mean by first place equity? First place equity means um, first place equity means you have to play um, you have to play have enough leverage, enough points to have first place. Um, so here, if somebody in that 16-man split um, played the Buccaneers defense, um, even with the Kelsey stack here, that 7 points would have been enough to separate. Um, Byron Pringle had low enough ownership to give you first place equity, didn't get there. But this is the range you had to go in if you wanted to win that $1 million without splitting. Um, Chiefs defense 9%. But Lev Bell 4%. Like this is where you had to go if you wanted sole possession of first. Now I get a debate in a debate with a lot of people on different forums I'm in of my philosophy is I'm either in tournaments like this, I'm going to put out combinations that give me first place equity without duplicating. Um, because if I have to split first place with more than 10 people, really it's not worth it in the long run. And I mean, first prize here was 1 million, so it's a lot different when the prize pool is this big. But like, if you're playing in smaller tournaments, um, you really have to weigh out how much you are willing to lose um, playing a guy like a Byron Pringle. Um, because there was no way in the tournament this size you were getting first place, that $1 million prize, without playing one of these guys on the bottom. And we talk about field size, um, and we talk about how risky you have to get in a tournament like this with a prize pool this steep. Um, it's really hard to make a lineup that's going to win and that's not going to get duplicated. It's exactly why I didn't play in any of these tournaments. Because the way I felt about it was it really, really, really just wasn't worth it to me. And for a lot of people to say, well, I'd rather split first place than lose money. It's like, okay, but what if you fell in this 16th, which is split 4 ways, or 35th place, which is split like 10 ways? Like, sure, you put up enough points to get pretty high position, but when you split it, the 35th fifth position when it's split between 20 people, it's worthless in a tournament like this. So let focus on leverage in showdowns and be uncomfortable playing lineups that may have a guy that puts up 0, because that is the only way to play large field showdowns, and it's exactly why I don't. I never play for a situation like this where I'm tied for first. When I play in tournaments like this, I want sole possession of first. That's it. And I get a lot of pushback for saying that, but I didn't think this tournament was going to be worth playing because I knew there was going to be a lot of duplications. And the options to get off these duped lineups um, really didn't thrill me. So that's all I have for today. Just talking about being contrarian in Showdown so you could get sole possession of first. So, thank you for watching. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you don't like the video, give it a thumbs down and tell me how I could do better. And I'll see you on the next one.